Hello friends, Jessica Allier here. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Transformation Journey, a one-person empire series designed to help you understand the real path from feeling called to build something of your own to becoming the kind of founder who can create, operate, scale, and lead an aligned business. This series is for aspiring entrepreneurs, early-stage founders, creators, coaches, consultants, service providers, and anyone who knows they want more freedom but feels overwhelmed by where to start. In this video, we're covering awakening. Awakening is the first layer of the entrepreneurial journey. It is the moment you realize you are no longer willing to live, work, earn, create, or make decisions by default. It is not the business yet. It is not the brand. It is not the offer. It is not the logo, the website, the funnel, the content plan, or the perfect idea. Awakening is the moment something inside you says, this life is no longer enough for who I am becoming. If you are building your own business, trying to escape confusion, or finally ready to create your one-person empire, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow along with the full series. Awakening usually does not feel glamorous. It does not always arrive with confidence, certainty, or a beautiful 5-year plan. Sometimes it arrives as frustration. Sometimes it arrives as burnout. Sometimes it arrives as quiet disappointment. Sometimes it sounds like, I can't keep doing this. I know I'm meant for more. I don't want my income, time, energy, or future controlled by someone else forever. I have ideas, but I don't know what to do with them. I want freedom, but I don't even know what freedom actually looks like yet. This is why awakening can feel confusing, because you are aware that something needs to change, but you may not know what that change is. One of the biggest mistakes people make in the awakening layer is assuming they should already have clarity. They think, if I was really meant to build a business, I would already know exactly what to build. But that is not true. Awakening is not clarity. Awakening is awareness. It is the stage where you realize the current version of your life, work, income, or identity no longer fits. You may not know your niche yet. You may not know your offer yet. You may not know your audience yet. You may not know how you are going to make money yet. That does not mean you are behind. It means you are at the beginning of the map. Awakening is the first spark. Clarity comes later. Strategy comes later. Systems come later. But first, you have to be honest enough to admit, I cannot keep building my life around a version of myself I have outgrown. In the awakening layer, people often feel trapped. You may feel trapped in a job that drains you, or an income structure that keeps you dependent, or a location that no longer inspires you, or a schedule that leaves no room for your real life, or a version of success that looks good on paper but feels empty in your body. You may know you want more, but not know what more actually means. You may want freedom, but not have a plan. You may feel urgent, emotional, and restless. And this is where many people accidentally confuse urgency with clarity. Urgency says, I need to escape right now. Clarity says, I am ready to consciously build something better. That difference matters, because if you build only from panic, you may recreate the same pressure in a new form. You might leave a job just to build a business that exhausts you. You might chase money just to create a business you secretly resent. You might copy someone else's strategy just to realize you built a cage with better branding. Awakening is not about running blindly away from something. It is about turning toward the life and business you actually want to create. The core transformation of awakening is this. You move from, I need to escape, to I am ready to build consciously. That shift is powerful. Because escape is reactive. Building is intentional. Escape is fueled by pain. Building is guided by vision. Escape only tells you what you do not want. Building asks you what you are willing to create. And this is where the entrepreneurial journey really begins. Not when you build a domain, not when you pick a color palette, not when you post your first piece of content, not when you make your first sale. It begins when you decide to stop drifting. It begins when you decide your life is not something that just happens to you. It begins when you decide your skills, ideas, creativity, knowledge, and experience can become the foundation of something real, something useful, something profitable, something aligned, something that belongs to you. Awakening requires honesty. Not dramatic honesty, not shame-based honesty, not the kind where you beat yourself up for not being further along. Real honesty, the kind that says, this is where I am. This is what is not working. This is what I keep tolerating. This is what I keep avoiding. This is what I actually want. A lot of people try to skip this part. They jump straight into tactics. They start watching videos about funnels, ads, content calendars, AI tools, passive income, pricing, branding, and scaling. But without awakening, those tactics become noise. Because you are not just building a business, you are changing your relationship with work, money, choice, identity, responsibility, and freedom. That is not small, that is not casual, that is not just start posting online. That is transformation, and transformation begins with telling the truth. So what is awakening asking you? It is asking you to pause long enough to name what is really happening. Ask yourself, what am I no longer willing to tolerate? Is it being underpaid? Being overworked? Having no control over your schedule? Depending on one employer? Suppressing your creativity? Having ideas but never acting on them? Feeling like your life is being shaped by everyone's expectations except your own. Then ask, what kind of freedom am I actually seeking? Because freedom is not the same for everyone. For one person, freedom means leaving a job. For another person, it means having income options. For another, it means working from anywhere. For another, it means creating around their family. For another, it means expressing their creativity. For another, it means building wealth. For another, it means finally becoming the person they kept postponing. The clearer you are about the type of freedom you want, the better your future business decisions will become. Because the goal is not just to build any business, the goal is to build a business that supports the life you actually want. Quick review. In this video, we covered awakening, the first layer of the entrepreneurial transformation journey. We talked about why awakening is not the business yet. It is the moment you realize something needs to change. We covered the common pain points of feeling stuck, underutilized, dependent, creatively restless, or quietly done with the life you are currently living. And we talked about the core shift from I need to escape to I am ready to consciously build. Your next step is to look at where you are right now. Are you truly ready for the next layer? Or is awakening the layer that needs your attention first? If this helped you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and continue with the next lesson in the series. Here is your practical next step for this layer. Take out a notebook, open a document, or use the Notes app on your phone and write 2 lists. The first list is, what am I no longer willing to tolerate? Write down the patterns, situations, limits, and frustrations you are ready to stop building your life around. The second list is the kind of freedom I am actually seeking. Be specific. Not just I want more freedom. What kind? Time freedom, creative freedom, financial freedom, location freedom, emotional freedom, decision-making freedom, freedom to build wealth, freedom to choose your clients, freedom to stop asking permission, freedom to create something that reflects who you really are. This exercise matters because awakening without reflection can turn into chaos. But awakening with reflection becomes direction, and direction is what prepares you for the next layer. In the next video, we are moving into the second layer of the entrepreneurial transformation journey, identity. Because once you realize you are ready to build something different, the next question becomes, who do I need to become in order to actually build? Entrepreneurship does not only test your strategy, it tests your self-trust, your discipline, your emotional regulation, your visibility, your decision-making, your ability to keep going when things are uncertain. So in the next lesson, we will talk about why building a business requires becoming the kind of person who can hold one. And if you are ready to stop trying to figure all of this out alone, your next step is to join the One Person Empire Academy, linked below in the video description. The One Person Empire Academy is built for people who want to turn their skills, ideas, knowledge, experience, or creativity into entrepreneurial freedom. It is for the person who knows they are capable of more, but feels buried under scattered advice, half-finished ideas, confusing strategies, and the pressure to somehow know how to build a business without ever being properly taught how business works. Because starting a business without guidance can feel brutally confusing. You are told to post content, build a funnel, pick a niche, launch an offer, use AI, grow an audience, fix your mindset, make sales, build systems, and somehow do it all while still trying to survive financially and emotionally. Most people are not failing because they are lazy. They are failing because they are trying to build a business without a map. They are surrounded by advice but missing sequence. They have information but not integration. They have motivation but not structure. They have ideas but no operating system. That is why the One Person Empire Academy is different. Most entrepreneurial courses throw tactics at you. They teach one method, one funnel, one platform, one trend, or one version of success. The One Person Empire helps you understand the whole journey. Your identity, your offer, your audience, your content, your sales, your delivery, your systems, your automation, your AI support, your operations, your growth path, and the founder you are becoming along the way. You do not need more information. You need structure, guidance, proven methods, and a community that helps you keep moving when the process gets confusing. So if you are ready to build with more clarity, more confidence, and more support, join the One Person Empire Academy through the link below in the description. I'll see you in the next video.